So you can call it a cobweb, okay, or you can call it a spider's web, and then both divide by 5. So spider's web is going to be 120 perfectly. The truth, which equals theobramo caco, okay? Spider's web, or cobweb. Pure fives. Spider's web. Spider's web, wow, there's huge ones. If you can see that sucker, that is a huge, at least a foot in diameter, okay? So, that's it. God is telling me to rejoice. It's a saturated Saturday, Max Coco, that's the message as always. They're everywhere, just thousands upon thousands of joy cobwebs that are illuminated by the rain. So that's what I'm telling you. Pay attention to what is a standout in your day that's in nature. Okay? And that is what God is telling you to do for today. It's rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. White, white, white. The dew, the dew, the dew. Spider's web, spider's web, spider's web is 120, which is theobramo caco. Spiders, the word spiders is glorious. It starts with the SP, and then you get the word rides, which is the root of the word desire. Okay? Everyone's desiring joy. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Wow. And then we know there's joy in rides, okay? My goodness. All right. Yes, sir. Now the rain's about to let up here. So that's why you immediately, look at this thing. That is why, okay. Wow. I gotta just get a little selfish here and just get up close with this. Unbelievable. Just how the, well, its beauty is what it is. Just how the dewdrops just stick like individual. Well, you see how God highlights the O, don't you? Like how God ordained water drops with the hydrogen bonding and all that to. And what's at the center of a water molecule? O, oxygen. Okay, it's all rejoice, but they make O's. It's just this. So you've got this giant O package that's laced with little O's, all telling you to rejoice. Every one is a circle, which equals joy, on a cobweb, which equals joy. And the more I promise you, the more words that you study and can pin like a poet to this site, this cobweb with all of its colors, the more, like silver, it divides by 5, just like gray. The more words that you get from the Lord as you study this and get poetic, you'll just get more 5s coming at you, more mathematically perfect words that scream out 5s, the joy message. Okay. Interestingly, rings equals water. Man. Ark. It's almost hard to not just stare at it for a long time up close, because it's just so, I mean, the word beautiful son of man, like, it's just so beautiful. Like, it's just incredible to me how there's this fine invisible strand that only God's creation can produce that has these perfect pearls hanging off it. You know, it's like, I have to admit, there's not an invention of man that comes close to that kind of amazing look. Like, just created for free. These incredible, fine, thinner than a laser strands supporting these individual translucent spheres. It's better than jewelry, folks. It's way better than jewelry. It's living, it's moving, and it blows in the wind, which equals joy. It just, but once, my goodness, strand, you gotta, 57, 50, anyways, oh yeah, strand, father, starts the word. You can just chew on this one for a while. You can get more words, okay, oh, spheres. That's a screaming 5 fest. In fact, spheres equals spiders. Okay? The sphere's web, the spider's web. Spheres equals spiders. There you go. Okay, so God's joy in spiders is his same joy in spheres all over the universe. The entire universe is spheres. Every atom is a sphere. It's like this whole universe is a giant ball of spheres that all bring God joy and are screaming out the joy message. So spheres, just to check my math. Yeah, spheres equals spiders. Okay? Spheres equals spiders. And they all exist for God's joy. So you've got little spiders creating these joy cobwebs for me to look at and rejoice. And you've got giant spheres that are bigger than the sun all through the universe that God said would be symbolic of people that all start from a single cell, which equals life. But the entire theme of all this craziness is joy. God's joy in the spiders, God's joy in the dew, God's joy in the cobweb, and then God's joy in the giant spheres, okay, that are bigger than the sun, like the billions of stars, trillions of stars. So it's all God's joy, and as far as we know, God never stops creating. Well, we know God never stops creating. There's new babies being born all the time, and the stories never end, and just God never stops creating. But why does he do it all? For joy, okay, for his maximum satisfaction, for his joy, okay. And so you start children off with this. I mean, you say, look, and do the math on the letters. It's like, look, everything that God is putting in front of your face is telling you to rejoice, okay. So there, we went deep. We went good and deep on some of the verbiage, some of the letters. Look at that. I mean, these things, spiders are incredible architects. I'm like, look at that. There's a strand, a cable going from that pole all the way over there. I have no idea how they get there. I believe they wait for the wind. I believe they wait for like the perfect wind, and sometimes they'll fly with the wind. Maybe they even crawl there by night. Like, it just, these guys are insane, man. They do it all in the dark, I'm pretty sure, which is nuts. But that's, oh yeah, so cobwebs equals joys equals enjoy equals Jehovah. You can find all 323s in cobwebs, the W, the S double B, and then CEO. Who is the great CEO of the universe? I am, God, the great I am. CEO equals I am. So it's ridiculous. Saturated Saturday. Okay, so, but I've never seen, okay, so pay attention, okay? It just go outside, walk in the Spirit, go wherever you feel like going is led by the Spirit, and just pay attention to what is an obvious standout in nature, that it is God speaking to you. We have seen so many cobwebs laden with dew today, this morning. It's embarrassing, okay? So the message is strong. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Joy, joy, joy. Okay, that is what... And I'll bet you it's going to involve us drinking Max Cocoa, which is joy, half a joy, throughout the day. Okay? That's just been the case. That's just, for me, just being natural and walking in the Spirit, as normal as can be and as honest as can be. Saturday over Saturday, it's been Max Cocoa, saturated Saturdays. Okay? And it's very natural. It's not like I force the stuff or, glug it to the point of pain. It's like, no, I just drink Max Cocoa. It's what you call a saturated Saturday. So, wow. So the earth is absolutely saturated with water on this saturated Saturday. Okay, the cobwebs are screaming out at us to rejoice. True story, man. Every moment in your life is ordained. We were trying to solve a crossword puzzle, 3 brothers of my family, and we had no idea what this 6-letter word was. And by some miracle of God, well, it was just the Holy Spirit, I blurted out cobweb. Just, the answer came to me, and we all felt the Spirit, and we knew, and we rejoiced. We knew it was the answer. We plugged it in, and it just unlocked the rest of the crossword. But here cobweb equals joy. Okay, so... you know. Oh, and there's your cocoa up cones, okay? So everything, I'm here to tell you once again, Jesus equals parables equals English equals Gematria equals anagrams. So everything that you ever see in nature and everything that you ever see, period, has an interpretation. It has a message, it has a metaphor that applies to you, okay? You know, like the brown cocoa cones on all the trees tell me to drink more cocoa to feel up, up, up. Okay, and the cobwebs tell me to rejoice. Joy is a choice. You simply take faith, okay? You simply take faith that God likes you maximally and that you are commanded to choose maximum joy all day long, okay? It's like a husband who's in love with his wife and she says, what should I do today? And he says, I just want you to be maximally happy. So do whatever you know and feel that will bring you maximum joy all day long today, okay? So that's the message that we've been getting from God for a long time now. Oh, praise God. I love revelations from God. And it's all white. The dew equals white. Isn't that amazing? Okay? So wear white, like Solomon said. Jesus, amazingly, when God spoke to Solomon, he said that no one after him would be wiser. That was referring to humans that weren't the Christ. Because when Jesus, God in the flesh, shows up after speaking to Solomon a long time ago, Jesus says of himself, he says, a greater than Solomon is here, and greater equals Jesus equals great I am. But, you know, between the words of Solomon and, of course, the words of Jesus, who is God in the flesh, you have incredible wisdom. Solomon said, always wear white. Jesus always wore white. And everyone in heaven is wearing white, so yada, 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 okay? I've preached this word from the Lord before. I'll say it again. It's a profound revelation from God that is a truth that anyone can obey and be blessed in. If you are currently working at any job that disallows you to wear all white on the job, you have God's total permission and invitation to quit the job immediately and wear all white today and do whatever he leads you to do. That's a word from God. Okay, I'm here to set millions of people free because there are millions of stupid jobs in this world, many of them completely non-Christian, where the dumb corporation or organization, including the police force, commands people that they are not allowed to wear all white. Many times it's even all black or whatever it is. If you're not allowed to wear all white at your job today, you have God's total permission and blessing to walk off the job immediately, wear all white, and listen to him personally telling you what he wants you to do today and where you're meant to go, where you'll be treated with proper dignity, worth, glory, honor, holiness, and respect. Okay? That's it. You don't have to spend another second in that stupid uniform, okay, that is not all white. You just don't. Just walk off the job and say, I'm out of here. The prophet spoke. I'm allowed to wear all white today, and wherever that takes me is where God's going to bless me. Okay? That's the truth. That's the total truth, man. Do not think that this universe depends on your job. No, this universe is all about God. Okay? And you, okay, listening to God. All right. So, Saturated Saturday. Oh, praise God. And then words are like water. Amazing. Wow. I gotta slow down and just... Can you believe that, man? Can you believe that? I'm like... Those strands are diamond is 60, which equals word. Diamond is word letter for letter. Makes sense, okay? God's words last forever. Amazing. It's crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Joy, joy, joy. And then give, and it shall be given unto you. Sow your seed, get a multiplied harvest. I mean, God's all about multiplication. And that's why there's so many of these things everywhere in nature. How do spiders get so abundant? Well, they multiplied. It's like, man, okay. All right. Well, God is rich and owns everything. Okay, so we got the message. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Choose joy, joy, joy. Cocoa up cones. Yes, sir. I love the fact that oxygen is at the center of every water molecule in the universe, because oxygen is the great O, the great rejoice. And that's why when you drink your cocoa water, it's the best thing for you. Remember, cocoa has double O in symmetry, just like God food, as a reminder of O2, the pair of oxygens that your body respires. Then when you drink the cocoa with the water, you're getting water molecules, which has oxygen at the dead center. And you've opened up your blood vessel network to get max oxygen absorption. So that's why drinking cocoa powder with water is the most efficient cat's meow for your joy and max oxygen. It's just like, it's just joy, 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 joy. How high do you want to go? Well, just drink more cocoa. How do you earn more cocoa? Well, you take long walks. You be more active. That's how you get paid more. Because remember, cocoa is money. Okay? It's like, do you want to have a great saturated Saturday? Well, be highly active, throughout your day. Earn yourself a cocoa appetite and then glug that stuff home, man. And send the roots inside of you further, deeper, wider, stronger, cleaner, better. Okay? The brown cocoa powder blesses your inner tree roots day over day until you become this incredible, vasodilated, well-networked internal tree on the inside of your human body. You got deeper, wider, cleaner, longer roots than anyone else on earth, and it keeps increasing by the cocoa, which is the heavenly fertilizer, God food, day over day. And then you bear the fruit of the Spirit because you got the best roots of any tree like no one else on earth 24/7. People run into you, they're like, man, this person is a walking angel of indescribable patience, love, joy, peace, kindness, goodness, faith, gentleness, self-control. How is that? Well, because he's got the deepest roots on the inside of every person through abundant God food consumption. Therefore, the fruit that comes out of his being is indescribably huge, abundant, plump. Just like, there you go. I'm here to solve all the world's problems. The reason anyone is ever cranky, negative, impatient, depressed, hasty, lustful, needy, cranky, bitter, greedy, selfish, self-protectionist, fearful, and everything negative that can be named is because they're vasoconstricted. They have no roots on the inside of them. They're not drinking their God food in obedience to the prophet, and so their veins are like shriveled little tiny roots of a tiny little tree that's incapable of bearing any positive fruit. And so they're just this very lusty, needy, impatient, obese, fat, vasoconstricted. I summarize it all in one physical word. Vasoconstricted. Mark my words, that is the word for this generation and for most generations of people that have existed since the flood of Noah. You're all vasoconstricted. Which is why everyone's impatient, sedentary, sitting on their butt, driving in armored vehicles, incapable of handling the weather or enjoying it, driving around, okay, in stupid machines like these, completely sedentary, truly miserable, delivering dead crap to people that doesn't bring life or joy. Everyone's locked inside giant prisons with no capabilities of walking outdoors, and I could go on. Every symptom that I see of humans today is all summarized in one word. Vasoconstricted. Vasoconstricted. No roots. No roots. Shriveled roots. Vasoconstricted. Vasoconstricted because they don't drink their abundant cocoa powder with water, the heavenly food, the heavenly fertilizer. This person here. Vasoconstricted. Driving a shiny piece of dead metal that's as dead as a doornail. She's trapped with her feet and arms in the stocks like a medieval criminal. Have you noticed that people that drive motor vehicles are trapped in the position that medieval criminals were locked up in? Wrists locked into a piece of wood, ankles locked into a position. There you go. How much joy are you feeling in your motor vehicle? Zero. I'm summarizing every stupid form of unjoyous behavior on earth today in one term. From the president and prime minister to the commoner. Vasoconstricted. vasoconstricted. No roots, weak roots, poor roots. No God food, no cocoa powder consumption. Therefore, shriveled, negative, unhappy, miserable, lustful, impatient, cranky children of all ages. Done. I've just summarized all the problems of all humans on earth today. Go ahead and name them. Name them all. Cranky, pessimistic, unbelieving, hateful, lustful, needy, discontent, stressed out, obese, incapable of holy energy, can't worship, can't love God, vasoconstricted, no patience, vasoconstricted, no God food equals no roots. I'm just here to tell you the truth about why I'm so brimming with positive, constant fruit, and everyone else around me is a shriveled prune, a shriveled tree by comparison. No God food equals no roots, vasoconstricted. And that's why everyone's stuck in a stupid motor vehicle, stuck in their dumb house, stuck in a life with no happiness, joy, or love, or peace, or the fruits of the Spirit, miserable, sedentary, no energy, complaining, lifeless, unexcited, grumpy, obese, mudslinging, gossiping about other humans, whining, complaining, wondering why there's nothing more in this universe. Well, there is. It's called God food. Pure natural cocoa powder with water to take you out of darkness and depression and every form of lifelessness and negativity that all is summarized in people having crappy Venus networks on the inside. Vasoconstricted. Crappy veins, also known as crappy roots, and people are cranky. They're hateful. They're so undernourished. They're just like children that haven't been nourished. Trees that have not been fertilized. Shriveled roots, incapable of a positive word. Hateful, slanderous, bored, lustful, needy, addicted to silly things, gossiping, chained to dumb jobs like policing and just sedentary lives, sitting on their butt, bored, you name it. It all stems from vasoconstriction. Trees with no roots, humans with no cocoa powder. The reason I can preach so long with joy, and the reason I can appreciate so much joy and beauty and delicacy in nature is because I'm vasodilated. I have incredible roots because of cocoa powder consumption. Therefore, I have mind-blowing patience and mind-blowing love and appreciation and gratitude for everything created by God in the universe. Have you noticed how lusty and impatient the entire world is, including all their advertisements and everything that they present? It's because they're all vasoconstricted. And therefore headed to an early grave compared to me. Weak roots, shallow roots, thin roots, crappy roots equals tiny trees that are going to wither quickly. I think I've said enough. All right, so back to the joy message. Saturated Saturday. That's what God's been saying. Okay. We'll continue to walk in the Spirit. I'm sure I'll have proper amounts of cocoa as I feel, and it's going to be awesome.